Hey everyone, it's Ahmad here, and this is the Infinix Note 3 Pro. It comes with 1.3 octa-core processor, that's a MediaTek chipset, along with the 3 gigabytes of RAM. It comes with 16 gigs of internal storage, that's expandable up to 128 gigs via micro SD card slot. It has 6 inches of screen, that is full HD, which is quite good because if it had been a 2K screen, it would have drained the battery, a lot quicker. Other than that, it comes with 4500 milliampere of battery time. That is a huge battery. For even a 6-inch screen, that is a huge battery. It would easily last you, easily it would last you more than one day if you use it, as a daily driver and not, playing for video games or anything other than that. The couple of things that I want to address about this phone are fingerprint sensor on the back. It's not a slow sensor, it's not a fast sensor, it's quite good. And it's quite accurate as well, like this. It instantly unlocks the phone. So the one thing that I want to address about this phone is the marketing buzz of this phone. What they said in the marketing buzz, all in the print you could see was the battery, its charging time, the cooling solutions that this phone has, some sort of aerospace cooling technology. I'm not so sure about that, but I would be honest with you. This phone doesn't actually heat up as much as I thought it would. It does heat up. It doesn't mean it stays cool all the time. It does heat up. During the gaming, for example, I tried Asphalt 8 and Skyforce Reloaded. It did heat up, but it never went off the chart. It never burned my hands or anything, but it was sort of hot. But the good thing about it is the heat was not in the places where you would hold the phone while playing the game like this, and the heat was usually around this area. Your fingers never reached there. So it wasn't, you were never totally uncomfortable holding the phone, but it still got heated up. The other thing that I noticed was the phone never lagged. Even if it got heated up, it never lagged. The 3 GB of RAM does an absolutely brilliant job over here, keeping all the apps running in the background. The one thing that the Snapdragon chipsets suffer from are throttling, and this chipset doesn't suffer from that. The one thing that I do want to address, to be absolutely honest with you, is the camera. This phone's camera was disappointing, to be honest. It's got a 13 megapixel sensor at the back and the 5 megapixel at the front. And the 13 megapixel is a huge disappointment for me. Even in good light conditions, it would somehow manage to do a post-processing to mess things up a bit. The pictures would come out grainy even if the light is good. And in low light conditions, they were just worse. So if you are looking to buy a phone for the use of camera, I wouldn't recommend this phone. Otherwise, this is a pretty solid device for the price point this is being sold at right now. The thing I do want to mention here is that the phone is, it's a big phone. It's not made for people with small hands. So if you got small hands, you would definitely have to use 2 hands. Even I had to use 2 hands at one point of the time or the other. Even with my big hands, I somehow, ended up using it with 2 hands because I wasn't comfortable holding it in one hand. The ergonomics of this phone are not, ideal. The sides of the phone are not as much grippy as you would want to be, especially considering this is a big phone and it would easily slip out of your hands and can fall down. A lot of the times when I was pulling it out of my pocket, I felt like it was just, about to slip from my hands, and I had to get my grip tighter on the phone, and it just felt wrong. It doesn't feel right in your hand, the grip part. Other than that, the solid build quality of the phone is brilliant. I would give it 4 out of 5 for the build quality, but they could have made the ergonomics a little bit better. The other thing I do want to mention about this phone is that it comes with a lot of bloatware installed, but the good thing is that for most of the part, the bloatware can be uninstalled. It's not forced upon you, and it doesn't feel forced during the use. The rest of the things that are that we can't even disable are the things that are not forced in the operating system. You are not forced to use them anywhere, which is a good part, which is really good for the manufacturer. I like that. So to sum it up, this phone has good, I would say excellent build quality. I would have preferred if the back would have been metallic as well. It looks like metal, but it is not. You can actually tell it's not a metal, it's plastic by tapping it. The top and the bottom ridges, these are metal for sure. These sound different and these are very sturdy. The build quality overall is really good. The phone feels solid in your hand. The ergonomics could have been better. The sides would have been better if they were a little bit grippy. They are not. It's a huge phone. You can easily slip it out of your hand. The processing power genuinely surprised me. I didn't expect this phone to perform this well. It did, and it was beyond my expectations. I wasn't expecting much from this phone. The processing times were a little, longer than what I expected, but that's expected to be from a phone which is 1.3 clocked, which is clocked at 1.3 gigahertz. The 3 GB of RAM is excellent. The app management and the apps that run in the background, you can easily run 10 to 15 apps in the background of the phone, and the phone doesn't lag. Even if Asphalt 8 was running in the background and I was playing another game, Skyforce Reloaded, even then the phone didn't lag. It never hanged anywhere. It ran as smooth as it would have, if one app was running. So the RAM management in this operating system is pretty good. The charging on this phone is extremely fast. Their claim of 5-minute charging for 200-minute talk time, it's pretty accurate. The one thing I do want to mention about the charging process is that I would suggest when you're charging the phone, you should leave it unused, because if you use your phone during the charging periods, it gets extremely hot, and if that could be really uncomfortable for holding the phone. And even if you use the phone, I'm not sure if it would charge up fast, because these phones don't charge up as quickly as, that's just the way these phones are built. They don't charge up quickly when you're using them. Anyway guys, hope you like this review. Please like this video, share it, comment below what you want to see further, and if you want to know anything more about this phone, subscribe to my channel for further videos. Peace.